Hello. In Learning Plan 5, we will be looking at physical and cognitive development in childhood. So we now have moved to childhood rather than infancy. In this learning plan, we are going to be looking at a number of things in childhood. One is physical growth and change. What happens as children move from infancy into childhood. Another thing that we will be looking at is the brain. And at this stage in childhood, particularly early childhood, there is rapid growth in what is called the prefrontal cortex of the brain. The prefrontal cortex is the area right behind the forehead. And this area of the brain is very much involved with organization, planning, something that is referred to as executive functions. I have a dear friend of mine, actually my best friend, who in the past year was diagnosed with a degenerative brain disease called frontotemporal dementia. It's somewhat similar to Alzheimer's, but actually quite different, and it is related to Parkinson's disease and Lou Gehrig's disease, or otherwise known as ALS. Anyway, in this disease, his is due to a rare but well-known genetic mutation. And in his disease, memory is not as much affected, although he is having short-term memory problems, but memory is not as much affected as it is in Alzheimer's disease, but instead executive functioning is, because the prefrontal cortex, or the frontal lobes of the brain, and the temporal lobes, which are on the side, those are the areas that really degenerate. And so he has had progressive problems with calendaring, dates, time, things like that, and even loss of inhibition. For instance, he really developed a taste for sweets, a sweet tooth, and he has a hard time passing up foods like that. So as you study this, I hope that you will pay attention. If you have children, maybe you've noticed this. This is something that continues to develop as children then move into adolescence. And you know, we work with adolescents at the school that I teach at during the day, grades 6 through 12. And you know, sometimes we'll see them do something very impulsive, and we'll refer to it as, you know, the teenage brain being not yet fully developed. The frontal lobes are the last ones to fully develop. So hopefully in observing, maybe even during your case study, you'll notice that children have some of these skills, but it's something that continues to develop throughout childhood and adolescence. In addition to the brain, the text for this chapter, chapter 5, also addresses motor development in childhood, the importance of nutrition and exercise, and then moves into cognitive development. The text will address the theories of Piaget and Vygotsky. It will also look at information processing, which involves attention and memory. Again, the executive functioning. It will look at language and literacy. And in addition to what I teach, I've been working on a reading teacher certification. So I've been studying literacy a great deal. And language, the brain is very, very involved with literacy, as is, again, stimulation and what children are exposed to. So for those of you that have children or will have children someday, know that the more that you can expose them to, the more that, you know, they will improve on those skills, and it really sets them up much, much better for school during their childhood, adolescent years, and beyond. So I can't stress that enough, that what we expose children to, and in a positive way, hopefully, the more stimulation that their brains can get, the better off they are, the more that those neural pathways are developed, and that is extremely important in their learning. Lastly, this text deals with early childhood development. and anyone who is interested in that as a career may take special note. It is such an important career. I don't think that we pay early childhood educators nearly enough, or paraprofessionals for that matter. So I'm a strong advocate for that and the importance of this as to a child's life and development. Lastly, as far as this whole learning plan and class goes, as you are working on the assignments for this course and even the case study, I hope that in your applications you are looking back at your own life, your own childhood and development, and looking at maybe how you were affected by these things. What kinds of things did you benefit from? What kind of things maybe could you have benefited more from? That's really important in your application in this course, and also again regarding who you will be working with in the future and even your own children. Okay, questions again, please don't hesitate to ask, and good luck.